Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump, let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and
Yep.
all critics. You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House, the
Totally agree.
court, the popular vote.
In this video, Van Jones admits that Trump is smarter than all of the Democrats. Joy Reid has a meltdown over ABC's $15 million settlement with Donald Trump. And Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is about to get kicked out of office over Trump's tariff threats. But where I want to start today's video is a new report that came out that MSNBC and CNN's viewership has declined even more than we already thought. So we all know that their viewership took a massive decline after the election, but it has decreased even more since then. It is crazy. Watch.
MSNBC and CNN are floundering following a post-election slump. The two liberal-leaning networks saw a downturn after Donald Trump's 2016 victory, but this time their views have plummeted even deeper. According to Nielsen, MSNBC's viewership was down by more than half, with an average of 603,000 primetime viewers from the day after the election through December 8th. CNN was down 46%, with 401,000 viewers on average. Meanwhile, the viewers appear to be flocking to Fox News, which was up 12%, averaging about 2.7 million viewers.
I think the reasoning is something like this. Most of their viewers left after the election because they were tired of hearing the Trump deranged lies. Then after this new ABC settlement came out, and there can't be any more Trump deranged lies, all of the people who wanted to stay for the continued Trump deranged lies have now left too. Which means that everybody watching their show is probably somebody like me who is simply just watching to make fun of them. It's crazy that trying to get these people to report honestly and objectively about the news is like pulling damn teeth. They're fighting so hard to be propagandists. Why can't we lie about Trump? Why can't we slander Trump? Why can't we just fearmonger and call Trump a fascist? Well, those days are officially over. And another Democrat talking point is always, Donald Trump's so stupid, he's such an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Well, Van Jones finally admits that Trump is smarter than all of you. Watch.
How the hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes? How did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running
It was a movement.
Look, heading a cultural movement versus a campaign.
Every one of your people knows Elon. Listen.
Yeah.
So everybody keeps, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that, how can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump, let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all critics. You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House.
Totally agree.
Court, the popular vote. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on earth and in our lifetime, and we're still saying, well, how was this guy? We look like idiots to ordinary people.
You're totally right.
If you guys love what Van Jones just said, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And this is a problem that I've had with Democrats for a long time now, which is when regular people try to assert themselves as being smarter than billionaires, people who have made massive success for themselves, is clearly one of the biggest forms of coping that there is. I mean, this guy is a multi-billionaire, a real estate developer. He's tried several business ventures. Some have failed, some haven't. He ran for president as a complete outsider. He lost the election in 2020, got shunned from politics, came back despite all odds, regained an even tighter control of the Republican Party, and then won the landslide in epic fashion, building a coalition of people from all spectrums of the aisle. This man is a genius. And I don't even say that as like just some glazing, just as an objective fact. People will try to hurl the same insults at Elon Musk, the guy who made full self-driving cars, commercialized the electric battery, is doing Neuralink, brain implants in people that are eventually going to fix issues like blindness and dementia. He sends rockets to space and learned how to catch them back as they descend to Earth. And somehow, people think that this guy is not smart. It's just so disingenuous and insecure to not admit that this is one of the most brilliant people on planet Earth. Now watch Joy Reid have a meltdown that the media actually has to be honest and objective now.
Donald Trump ran for president for one reason and one reason only: to make all of his legal problems, poof, go away. And for the most part, he was successful, with one exception. Yesterday, the New York judge who presided over Trump's hush money trial denied his bid to toss out his guilty verdict, meaning Trump will have to live with the infamy of being the first convicted felon president. But that isn't stopping Trump from trying to hit the delete button on every other bad headline ever printed about him, going so far as to sue Iowa pollster Ann Seltzer and the Des Moines Register, saying he's seeking accountability for brazen election interference over a November poll that showed Kamala Harris up 3% in Iowa. Never mind the fact that Trump won the election and won the state of Iowa by double digits. He's clearly feeling emboldened by ABC News agreeing to pay a $15 million settlement in a defamation lawsuit. Nearly every legal expert said that they would have won. And as others in the media show, they are increasingly willing to comply in advance, like the owner of the LA Times, Patrick Soon-Shiong, who Oliver Darcy is reporting requested that the newspaper's editorial board outright take a break from writing about Trump and balance any critical editorials or articles with positive ones.
Like, the ladies of The View, they're bad, but they're also like just the daytime talk show. Joy Reid works for MSNBC, which is actually supposed to be a news organization. She's so pretentious. Nothing she ever says is based on fact or evidence, but she states it, declares it with such confidence, as if it is. She is merely an opinion mouthpiece, placating as a news reporter. I mean, her opening statement, Donald Trump ran for president to make his legal problems go away. I mean, where is your evidence for that? I hope Trump sues her. She's the only person that I've never met personally that I actually dislike. Like, I would tell her to her face if I ever met her how much of an idiot she is, how smug and pretentious and condescending she is. I would tell her how much I hate her neck rolls. Now let's watch as she continues to get her quadruple XL panties in a bunch over Justin Trudeau meeting with Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden. Watch.
Well, I mean, yeah, and there's sort of a game people play of mocking Canada. Well, now Canada has been mocked by its own prime minister. You know, Justin Trudeau went down to Mar-a-Lago as if Trump is already president. He's not president yet. He didn't go running to the White House of the real current president. He went to him as if he could just become a supplicant. And now Chrystia Freeland, who's his finance minister, she's out of there because she's like, we need to come up with a strategy to deal with Trump's tariff plan. That is not a strategy, and it is humiliating. And if I were a Canadian, I'd be absolutely disgusted. You know, it's interesting that it's said that there's a crisis of manhood, right? That is being said a lot on the right. There is a crisis of manhood. But it's on your own side, guys.
Does she really not understand why Justin Trudeau didn't meet with Joe Biden? Because no one takes the man seriously. We've all seen the clip of him falling asleep at a meeting with the leaders of African countries.
At one point, he had his eyes closed for over a minute, resting his head in his hands, with onlookers claiming he looked tired and spoke hoarsely.
Not to mention he's going to be out of office in less than a month. No world leader respects him. He's a doddering old fool. They can't have any conversations about anything substantive with this guy. They know Trump has the juice. They know he's about to take over. And they know that if they want to discuss things with the United States, it needs to be with the incoming president who actually has a plan. And look at her try to say that the masculinity crisis is coming from the right. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was like a year ago, a report came out from one of the liberal media sources that said working out is white supremacy. The left is the party of the soy boys, of the weak men with no spine. And speaking of soy boys with no spine, self-proclaimed feminist Justin Trudeau is in shambles right now as all of Canada and his own party wants him to resign. Listen to this reporting about his finance minister, who was also the deputy prime minister, the second in command, resigning because of how destructive Justin Trudeau has been for Canada. Watch.
Can I ask you sort of a chicken and egg question? Is it President-elect Trump and his potential tariff threats that's causing this, or is that merely stoking a fire that was already lit, in essence?
It's sort of ancillary to it, because this was actually an opportunity for Justin Trudeau to get a bump in the polls, because a lot of Canadians perceive Donald Trump as being difficult to predict, and therefore when things go wrong, it gets sort of assigned to the, oh, well, it's Donald Trump category, rather than why isn't our prime minister handling it correctly. So a lot of Liberals were anticipating that Trudeau could benefit from this, and that has not been the case. Instead, Donald Trump has belittled Justin Trudeau at a time when he is highly unpopular with Canadians, and this has been the case for about a year for Justin Trudeau. And I think sometimes people outside Canada don't realize his popularity here has been slipping and stuck in very low numbers. He's made a lot of unpopular policy decisions, and that's why there's sort of this is, the question on is this the nail in his coffin?
Yes, even up in Canada, the Great White North, the people are rejecting far left ideology and policies. Let's not forget that Justin Trudeau was the one who froze and shut down the bank accounts of Canadian citizens because they were donating to the truckers who were protesting COVID restrictions and mandates about getting the COVID vaccine, labeling them as domestic terrorists. Left-wing policies are ruining Canada the same way that left-wing policies are ruining the United States. And I'm glad that the world in general is waking up to the destructive nature of these big, bloated government agendas that are all about overspending and many times laundering money through these initiatives that never have an actual benefit on the citizens of the country. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.